Yo, welcome to In My House. Today we got WOOF Logic coming in to chat with us. These guys have been pushing all the boundaries in different subgenres of EDM, combining them for their own special fusion sound. We talk about everything from their evolution as artists, tips on production, and breaking through barriers in today's world as rising artists. Let's get into it. Yo, what's poppin'?
What's good, man?
WOOF Logic in the
What's going
house.
on, man? Nice to see y'all.
What's happening? What's new in the WOOF Logic world?
I'll let my boy go ahead. Let us know.
Oh man, it's been a roller coaster like the last I guess year and a half. When's the last time we saw you? Like a year and a half ago, almost two.
No, 2023. Yeah,
You had a headline show at Catch One, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's been a roller coaster of events since then. A lot of bookings lately. A lot of underground bookings. Just a lot of blue balls and.
Yeah, so the main thing a lot of people want from us right now is techno, which is kind of conflicting, because we love the sound. We've always loved that vibe, but at the same time, we don't want to be pigeonholed into one genre. If you ever listen to our sets, whoever's watched us live, they know we go into every single genre. So
Yeah.
lately, I would say we are getting a lot of techno shows, but we're gonna start branching back out of that soon, just because we don't want to be pigeonholed in that.
Yeah, for sure. Are they asking to play full on techno the whole set? Or
Yeah, man, that's kind of how it is out here. And then not only that, a lot of people that hit us up for collabs, they're big and respectable,
Yeah,
but they want techno. So it's just fuck, man, what do we do?
that's the wave, man. You gotta have a balance of both now, I guess. Man, I even started a techno project for some peak time stuff.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Warehouse, no, or something like that. Warehouse.
Yeah, Warehouse 11.
Yeah,
That's a fire name.
Y11.
I just like that number. It's and it's a spiritual thing too, because 11 is number of energy and spirituality.
Mhm.
I was I like this number.
Do you follow a number all the
it goes
time?
well. Yes, I do, bro.
Yeah, my cousin does too.
That's where
She's all
that's where I kind of got it from. 'Cause numerology, 11 is number of energy, and so I'm this fits with the techno and the kind of sound I'm going for, so I like it.
Well,
If you had to say what kind of specific style of techno are you trying to do with that specific project, or is it just kind of just doing all kinds of stuff on there?
Yeah, mainly peak time, like the Eli Brown, Space 92,
Oh, that's
135,
That's fire.
135, 140 range. I just love that stuff because, man, when I'm at the gym, that's all I really listen to. Right now. It's just peak time.
Because obviously there was the techno boom, but at the time when it wasn't that style that was techno to me. It wasn't the fast stuff now, which still is techno, but honestly, there are times where I'm is this techno or is this just hard style with a hi hat?
Or is it
for me, techno
or is it
was
ever?
Yeah.
yeah. For me, techno was the industrial dark techno, where it's more 130 BPM or 125.
Yeah.
But that's why you call it
It's
hard
changed a lot.
now.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like techno was the same thing, and now if you just have a punchy, distorted kick, people are oh, it's techno.
Yeah.
But the arrangement is EDM. The leads are EDM, and people just call it hard techno when it's just a hard kick.
Yeah. The thing I will say about hard techno that kind of grinds my gears a little bit is that the set and every song has a fake out. It just kind of gets old. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one thing right there that just that's the one thing I would change about.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Where it does the hard style dun dun dun.
Yeah, and they changed the kick
Yeah.
every 3 times before they get to the real drop.
There have been a couple songs where I'm the drop plays and obviously there's the fake out and you hear this really fat distorted kick. I'm damn, this is about to drop, and then they play it
A side drop.
yeah, and I'm damn, the other kick was cooler.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard side pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing we battle. We'll be working on one style and then the second drop will become a whole new style, and we're fuck, so now which direction do we go?
Yeah.
Because we fall in love with it.
I think you just gotta do everything now. You just gotta have genre blending in every song, or just go do whatever feels good.
Yeah, which is exactly what one of the songs we're gonna have coming up on a group chat compilation. Well, I don't know if that's public news yet or if it's allowed, but whatever. Hopefully they don't get upset.
Oh,
Clean it.
But,
we got a leak.
but yeah, we are gonna have a collab with our boy Damien Avila, and it's 3 drops and they're all different styles,
Bad
but
different.
they still blend pretty well because of the bridges in between.
Yeah.
So, because that was one of the constructive criticism we got, is that like, oh, if you're going for that vibe where like everything is like 3 different songs in one, then cool. But if not, then you're kind of got a problem in your hands.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily like your traditional like cohesive song. Like it doesn't like flow into it. Like it's all over the place, but it makes sense for us. And that came to the point when we were writing the song that we were trying so hard to make it fit, and then it came to the point where like, nah, these are all sound cool. Let's just fucking release it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, you guys are so good at producing that I'm sure it's fire. And Damien's music is really good too. I love his shit.
I always tell him, bro, I always glaze him up. Like, he's my favorite producer. Like, that guy, man, like, for years, too, since his Mumathon, like, sound, he's been making crazy jungle terror, techno. I'm just like, damn, bro. Like,
and his, like,
is he from Cali?
He's from Texas. And his, like, workflow is so crazy because, like, he'll just be pumping out, like, ideas and songs like crazy. And, like, it takes us forever to finish songs just because of, like, our work schedules. And I just, being just creative after working 9 to 5, we get to issues. But then I'll see him, like, he'll post some fire as, like, a clip on his, Instagram. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing with my life?
This guy will have, like,
I feel like that too, bro.
How's your workflow? Like, how long does it usually take for you, like, to, like bump out a track?
Fuck, it depends, because it could be like an hour if I'm really in the flow and I have like everything I need and everything's just flowing. You know, it just happens. I guess. Like, you're looking for your samples and you find just the right. Everything is right.
Yeah.
And then some days it's like, you spend a whole day and you can't find like the right one shot, and it's like you just kind of give up on it for a little bit and then come back to it. So it depends. Like I try to work fast as possible. Like I'll have like all my sounds I already use like saved, and then all my racks, and just kind of go from there. But sometimes I want to step outside the box and be like, I want to find like a really unique like one shot or like some kind of box hit, and it's just not sitting right,
Yeah.
No, I feel
you do music full time, right? Or I don't.
I do music full time now. Yeah. How long has it been? 3 years since 2022.
Yeah. See, how did you get started? That's a question that like I've always wondered. Like, so when did you decide, or have you just always like never had like a normal job, maybe? Or
yeah, we're hijacking your podcast now. You're the guest.
Damn, I'm getting put in the huts.
And that's because we have our own. So,
I got started because I was DJing full time for a long time, like locally, up here in Canada. I was doing like at least 2 nights a week, sometimes 3-4 nights a week, and then. Yeah, and eventually I was like, got tired of it. I'm like, okay, I want to produce and make remixes of songs I like, and then be able to get out of my hometown, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it really started. I really wanted to like take it to the next level and stop just being a DJ, right?
But your source of income was DJing, like that was keeping you afloat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn, lucky man. See, over here it's so oversaturated, bro. And like, back then when DJ Blend, I don't know if you heard DJ Blend, but he was like my main inspiration into EDM back in like 08, 09. And so he was just a DJ. He wasn't producing at the time. So I always thought like that's all you had to do was just DJ. And because he was like playing overseas, all that. But eventually he did start making his own music. But I mean, now I don't know where he's at. But anyway, so he was the one where I was like, fuck, man. See, all you got to do is DJ. And all these years, I was like, fuck. I wish we could have spent more time, learning how to make music back in high school and shit.
Yeah, man. A lot of times I kick myself in the foot because, like, even when we first started our project, we didn't start out making music right away. It wasn't until like maybe a year after where we were like
2017, I think.
Yeah, where we kind of realized like, okay, if we actually want to be here, we need to actually start like making music and not actually just playing shows. Because we would like play like gigs and like house parties and stuff, like little underground events. But if we wanted to be where we wanted to go, like if you had like, okay, we have to start writing music, and we took like pretty much like a whole summer of just like it was like a crash course on learning how to produce. Even like now, I'll be honest with you, like I don't like, and there's no right way to like learn how to produce, but I'm sure there are things people ask me like, oh, how do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. I was just told that you do it like this, and it just works.
Yeah, man. So you just find your way. I mean, even the way I master stuff, I don't think like someone that went to school and is like an actual engineer would approve of like my master rack, but it ended up working, and I made like a side gig out of it, right? So
Great time, man. Like we sent a couple of our more than a handful of songs to you heading your way, and they always come out super fire.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yo, you guys said you guys started music producing in 2017, right?
2017.
Yeah, same time, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's exact same year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, bro. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have started around that time. Because that's when like DJing or like producing became like the big thing, right? EDM was started trending like hard back then.
Yeah,
So I feel like that.
because like when Big Room was like popping, like 2013, 2014, I was still partying very hard. I was still DJing.
Yeah.
But I was in my party phase still. And I think after like 2015, 2016, after a couple more festivals, I'm like, okay, it's time to get serious and start producing.
Yeah. I feel that, man. And I don't know if you ever heard this, but some people will be like, oh, I'm not going to any more shows until I'm playing there. And, that's always been like, it's always been so intriguing. Like, so the sad part was I heard that in 2015, which was my first year. Like I was 19, finally able to go to raves.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hell no, I'm not going to start going to these things. Like, this is my reset. This is my way out, And so we never did that, but I see a bunch of people that said that like they said that and then they just stopped DJing overall. And I'm just like, all those years you gave up and you never went to go get inspired or influenced, because that's the main thing I got out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened at Nocturnal 2015, but just something just clicked musically I think it was like the synchronizing with the visuals and like just the performance aspect of it all, where I was like, nah, man, this is like way more than just, partying and shit like that. Like, this is, oh, sorry, can we cuss? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I don't know if you bleep it out. I don't want to give you more work to do.
No. Full on, unfiltered, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So going to Nocturnal 2015, something just clicked in my head, bro, where everything was just started making sense. Like I started understanding music patterns like way more and just like the art of creating a direction and vibe of a set.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think I kind of had that mindset for a little bit too, because I just heard so many people say that, like, oh, I don't want to go to like EDC again unless I'm playing. But I feel you on that, bro. Like when you're there, you get so inspired after. Like every time I just go there, even if I've been going sober like the last couple ones, and when I come back from it, I feel so inspired. I'm like, fuck, I have so much motivation and new ideas I want to get working on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Same here. Like every time we go to a big one, like we just come back and I just feel like after recovering for that day, you get that like momentum in and you just feel so motivated to catch up.
Fact.
Yeah, bro. Because I think if you don't have that connection to the scene and I think when you're going to events often, not like all the time, but like you're staying connected with it, you're also following what people like, because people's tastes and trends change over time, right?
For sure.
And kind of just in your room, producing, sitting back, you're not really getting that live feel. Like that's one of the reasons I started doing like faster music, because I went to EDC 2017 or 2016, and I started hearing like kind of more like 140, 150 stuff, and I was like, ooh, I'm like, maybe I should make bass house a little faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year where tempos were rising up, I remember. Because you would have like artists that don't play faster tempos, like all of a sudden they start playing faster tempos. And there's that big hard Jersey boom where like Jersey Club all of a sudden sped the fuck up, and then Speed House even I think started popping up. Like you started like putting that out more during that time, no? Or 19?
Yeah, it's like later 2017 and then early 2018.
Yeah, I remember catching just everything speeding up. So what we would do, like even us, we would play an opening set at 160 BPM and shit. And those were like those humbling times. You just have like 20 people in the crowd just kind of not really vibing.
Yeah, there was a specific and it was like a super popular venue here at the time. They had closed down, but now it's opened up again. It's called the Yost Theater out here in Santa Ana. And we had gotten like our first like opening, like we were playing opening there, and our set was fire. It was like all like 160, 150 BPM stuff. And the only people out in front were just our friends.
Yeah.
And so there was a point where like obviously we're going ham. By the time in my head, I'm like, damn, this is something. But it was cool because we were like checking that off for like Liz, because we always wanted to play there, because we used to go there when we were just still just going out to events and stuff, not DJing.
It was a learning lesson for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be like that sometimes, but you kind of have to. I have this thing like whenever I have a show that's not ideal turnout of like what I expected, because obviously like what is not busy. It's not exactly like the energy you want. You don't feel as great inside, especially if it's a set you like plan and you had all these, hopes, high hopes that's gonna be like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I just kind of imagine that it is busy. And that actually helps me stay in the zone. So like sometimes I did this a lot in Asia because when I was living there, they have this concept where the whole club is like take VIP tables, there's
Mhm.
not really a dance floor. So the whole like dance floor area is all like standing tables, and all around that is the actual VIP big booths, right? And it's like there's a lot of people here, but they're not like jumping up and down like the crowds in like America.
Mm.
So I was like, fuck. And for my style of music, I feed off the people. I need that energy. I need that hype coming back to me.
Yeah.
So I would just imagine that I'm playing somewhere where the crowd is hyped. Like imagine I'm playing like EDC or something, and that like helped me like push through my set and keep me high energy because I have to be high energy for like my footage, my pictures, and all that stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do the same, bro. Like, sometimes, especially with these underground events, like it's so hot in there. Like, and they'll have like big old
Oh,
swamp coolers, and it doesn't even put in a dent, bro. You gotta literally be like facing this close for
Yeah.
for it to work. And so we'll be on set, man, and sometimes we'll be on a breakdown, and that's where I catch myself like giving the low energy. I'm like, all right, let me get some water real quick, refuel, and then like I'll be back in it.
Mm.
yeah. Is there a lot of underground shows now popping up over there?
Oh yeah, bro. The one we've been playing a lot is Code Red. We've had we built a strong connection with that guy. His name's Ryan.
That I ran.
Bro,
Nice.
he just got Akon to pull up last weekend. Like I don't know what's going on, but he's getting all the big
Akon the rapper.
Yeah, bro.
He was there, and it was cool
Oh,
because
shit.
like I think he was there. I believe it was sorry, must have his name was Shogun, right?
Scott.
Or
Let me pull up his name real quick. But he's like one of the big producers like Timberland.
yeah,
Like one of those guys.
and it's
Scott Storch?
Yeah, Scott Storch. Yeah. See, I always forget his name.
Wait, Scott Storch was at this rate?
2 weeks ago, yes.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I
Yo.
don't know. Like this was like pulling like side missions or just like random special guests coming out, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's cool, man.
even-
Cali has like the close shit like that.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's funny because we were told to avoid these events back when we started with Logic, and now it's like the thing. Now it's like everyone's doing these, and now it's you get notable names and respectable names. It's just like, well, why shouldn't we take those now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think like the times are changing, like I even noticed that here in Canada, like um people are like more excited for like the little underground pop-up parties. Um just because the music's a little bit, it's not as mainstream, not as commercial as like clubs. Like even just club culture in general is like kind of dead. Like it's dying. I mean, it feels like it's already dead. Like people like want to go to events. They want to go to events. They want to go to like unique pop-ups and even stuff like I seen this video of a coffee shop like rave or like they're playing house music in a coffee shop. They're selling tickets for like $50 for a ticket they get in.
That was local.
And people are paying it. So that was in Toronto. Yeah, like all local DJs.
You take a cortado and a bump of coke same time.
What the?
Yeah, exactly.
We had this guy named Bolo. He's been like blowing up lately. He just did a taco shop rave by the Nas Center where all the SoCal festivals are at. And
I just seen something from him.
yeah, he's been blowing up.
Yeah.
What, maybe last year he started like at our car, and now he's just doing all these headlining shows. Like it's been really inspiring to see. Like he's Hispanic just like us. And yeah, man, I feel like EDM is like everyone's with the shits now. So in all cultures,
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that, the possibilities out there.
I think I seen him playing like what's the big venue you guys have? Exchange?
Yeah, we have Exchange. He just did his first headline show there, 360 set.
That's fine.
Yeah. That I literally just seen that Instagram today.
Yeah, man. I started following
that's
him
crazy.
probably when he was under 15K, and now he's at like 40K plus in like 3 months.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So anything can happen, and sometimes it can happen really quick. So
Yeah. Just signed with UTA. Like I'm just like, damn, man.
there you go.
Some people just have their year, bro. It's crazy. It's cool to see, super inspiring to see that.
Yeah.
It just shows you, man,
Yeah.
you just don't give up. You just keep it going, and all it takes is that one. Like, I feel like luck isn't really a thing. I think only positioning is luck. Like you get put in that spot luckily, but like the work ethic is it's what gets you there.
Yeah, you have to not quit because eventually you have enough like work behind you, and then you have enough connection to put you in the right places. Then kind of that one thing happens, and then
Yeah.
it just snowballs.
Yeah, that's
'Cause that's crazy. Yeah, like landing all that in a year is like solid. Now he's like on a really good trajectory.
Yeah, man. And I feel like a whole bunch of Latino DJs right now, they're just pretty much paving the wave.
Yeah, man. Especially because like there's such a big Hispanic scene in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of them, bro. They're taking over. They're taking all our
Yeah,
jobs.
Every time I go to EDC, I'm like, there's mostly Hispanics and Asians here.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, dude. I think EDC is for sure more Asians. But if you go to like a
Yeah.
SoCal rave, oh my God, bro. There's like nothing but Hispanics.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't been to a NorCal rave yet.
Oh, really?
Wait, no, wait. Where did I go? I went to Escape. Where's Escape?
In SoCal.
SoCal.
No, yeah, that was at NOS. Yeah.
Yeah, no. We live like 10 minutes from there, bro.
I literally live down the street from it.
Oh shit. Where?
Yeah. Like,
Damn.
maybe like 10 minutes.
We got so lucky, bro. You would think LA would be like the rave capital, but it's like the Inland Empire down the street.
Yeah, for sure. That was like an hour. That's an hour away from LA, right?
Yeah.
On a good day, yeah. Probably like an hour and a half minimum, or maybe 2 hours even if you get with that shitty traffic.
Oh, that LA traffic.
Yeah. It sucks.
So that area you said, like, so that area like that you guys live in, where NOS is like there's a lot more raves happening around there.
Oh yeah.
Well, like all like the big Insomniac festivals that aren't EDC or like the international ones,
Yeah.
are all based out at the NOS Center. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Nocturnal, Escape, Beyond, a lot of like the BassCon festivals.
Countdown.
LA only gets Hard Summer now, and they get like all the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
But over here, there's not really any like EDM staple clubs.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah, but there are new undergrounds out here where we're from. Like, pretty much people. There's a lot of people putting out their attempts. Nothing really stuck until like recently with Inland Groove.
Yeah.
Even Lick and Dip started coming over here. So I feel we're finally starting to get that notoriety.
Yeah, for sure. And then like these underground parties are kind of like new promoters, you would say?
I probably honestly, I'm not really too familiar, but yeah, I would say they're newer.
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta make it out to Cali more. I was just there 2 months ago for like a video shoot.
Oh, it's
But every time I come back, I'm like, man, it's so nice here.
or no, you're a Ray, huh? Or which one was it?
Yeah, it was for the Dimac release. So I was literally there for a day, bro. Like I literally flew in and we shot the music video all day. And then I flew out the next day.
That's crazy. You didn't give yourself like a day just to chill?
No, because I had to come back. I forgot what was going on that weekend. I think I had another show up in Canada that I had to fly back for and get ready for. So
That's fire.
yeah,
Well, how was shooting the music video? How'd that go?
it was good, man. I mean, shout out Dimac. They gave us like all the resources, and they had such a dope videographer, and I guess he was like the director too
Right.
behind it. I don't know if you know him. His Instagram is Topanga Hills Mafia.
Nah, I don't think
Nah, I
so.
don't think.
No.
Because he makes music too, and he does like video stuff. It's really dope, and yeah, we just like shot at Dimac Studio, so they have like a room where it has all these lights and backgrounds and stuff, and then after that, we went to this studio where you can rent rooms, and that's where like it has like a light floor on the bottom that changes lights. So we recorded some stuff in there, had a mirror on top, so did a bunch of cool effects in there, and then we went to this like underpass. It's kind of famous. I don't know what it's called, but a lot of people go there. It's kind of like an underpass near downtown.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Is there
think
is there like a big opening up there and then
It's like a little highway or freeway or something.
Yeah, but it's not that big though. Like it's kind of like when people turn in, they go down and then go back.
Yeah.
But it's near downtown.
Yeah, cops always go there, like because people are always like stopping traffic, but there's no one really coming.
Yeah, I feel like that's like apparently it's a popular spot for like video shoots
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
We just did like a running scene there. Like
you see a lot of people doing clothing brand shoots or car photos right there.
yeah, for sure. I can see that. Yeah, we just basically did like quick running scene. Like I just chased after a car, and then that was it.
fire?
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't know this. or I don't know, maybe I don't. But here's a tip for a lot of people looking for studio spaces for, I guess, filming or photo shoots. Go on Peerspace. It's an app where you could find a bunch of locations. Um, and LA has like so many different options.
Mhm.
That's why you will see a lot of people with the same, spots, but there's a lot out there that are
Yeah.
untapped. So in case you're a DJ trying to figure out where to find these spots, go on Peerspace for an app.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the website that we were looking at because Ray Ray was sending me a bunch of places. She's like, how about this? How about that? Initially, we wanted to do like a spaceship stage. So there was like a place renting a spaceship, but then booked up the day that I landed. So we had to switch to another spot.
I think we shot there before.
Hey, can we get a
Spaceship?
quick shout out to Ray Ray, man? She just the trajectory she's been over the years is fucking insane, man. Like just like
Yeah, she's crushing it.
yeah, I'm always blown away, but just just all the fire releases like that she's putting out, like the one that you did with her, and it's just like there's no I don't think I've ever like seen her stop at any point.
No, she has like the craziest work ethic. Like, I feel like I'm busy all day and I'm doing a lot.
Yeah,
But when I'm with her, I'm like, fuck, she's like a workhorse, man. She goes and she tours almost every weekend too.
yeah, and that's what's crazy to me because I'm like, it's crazy to me when I see like high touring DJs and then they'll still have like all these music to put out. I'm like, damn, where do you guys find the time to even do it?
Yeah, like she's on top of it. She's like very organized. She's always doing something. And yeah, like she's writing lyrics or like, writing new songs. And she told me she has like over 12 new demos already. I'm like, you're quick.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's especially like if you're a touring, because for me, man, sound quality is like when we're working on music. We've tried it before on like laptop speakers. I don't know how people do it or like with AirPods. I feel like
Yeah.
full sound system, bro, because every time it just doesn't sound right to me on a speaker or something, And some people they make it.
Yeah, you get used to it, I think. I mean, I'm like used to my MacBook speakers now when I'm traveling. So even though like I'm not like giving some care to the low end, I know where everything else should be sitting, like in the mids and highs, so I can still produce on it. But I'll just do ideas and then I'll just like come back to the studio or my headphones and do the mixing after.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean though.
That's pretty much how it goes with us. If there's ever a situation we have to use headphones or anything outside of our monitors, it always has to resort to us going back home and just fixing the mixing and all that.
Yeah, for sure. Who's the main mixer?
My boy right here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So like we do a lot of stuff. If you guys ever, have the time, check out our YouTube channel, Maple Alley. Check out our podcast, Woof's Web. We've been content creators since, well, me at least middle school, and then he started hopping into it in high school with us.
Yeah.
We have like a group of friends, so we have a group YouTube channel where we do like vlogs and stuff like that under Maple Alley. So I'm like the main editor right now, and so we do a lot of like pretty much our workstation is him on the music next to me, and then me while I'm doing like YouTube editing or like our content editing and like graphic design. And so yeah, I feel like duos. That's like the bonus of it all.
Damn, that's cool, man. So what's your YouTube channel called again?
Maple Alley.
Maple Alley. So Alley is like ALLEY.
Yeah, because we have like an alley down the street. It's kind of like an insider thing where we would back in our high school days, we'd go over there and just hang out and just either drink or just chill,
Damn, that's cool. So was this channel like started like when you guys were in high school?
We had like different phases.
Different like
names different,
stuff. And then we took a break from it, and then because I get like even like our other buddies they have their own podcast called Ponte las Pilas, which is they've been doing that for like years, and that's finally been getting some leeway and like getting traction. And then Michael had the idea with our other friend Jonathan, because we all worked together at the time, and they had the idea of like, hey, let's restart the YouTube channel. Let's like do like a whole super group of all our friends, because like we like to make videos with us anyways, and that way we get like the idea was so we do that so our audience can go to over there and theirs can get to ours, and we just branch out and like all the way at the end of the day it's just like a secondary way for more people to like to discover us. And I think it actually worked tremendously, because since doing that we've gotten a lot more people
nationwide, like audience nationwide from our YouTube. And even at one of our local shows, someone called us out like as YouTubers, and then someone called us out at, not in a bad way, but just like saying like, oh, I know you from there. And so like,
Yeah.
or our channel name Maple Alley. So like it's working, we're getting that
Yeah.
conversion.
Yeah, that's cool. So like what type of content, like is it kind of like more lifestyle vlog content,
It's
or you
all
got
over the
something
place.
that
It's like kind of we're just throwing it in the air right now. We actually one of our most viewed videos is it got like 14K views and it's just reviewing Indian food. And so like we're just trying everything, man, from reviews to vlogging. A majority of it is vlogging because I feel people just like to see our personalities rather than like us acting a role. And so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's why I wanted to kind of start this podcast, because like I didn't really have an idea to do a specific type of content, because I feel like everything is like just copy of a copy on socials right now,
Yeah.
right? Especially for content. And I don't know if it's you guys about you guys, but for me, like if I see something and it's just the same thing or same concept that someone else did, I'm just gonna scroll past it, But
Yeah. That's.
whenever
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
whenever I feel like people are like talking about something and I'm like, oh, I want to actually give this a listen. Like I'll actually give it a listen for like 5-10 seconds to see if it's something I'm interested in. Then I'll stop and listen to it, right? But if it's just like some funny, goofy, like kind of like brain rot stuff, I'll just like skip it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that for sure too. And so I feel like, doing our YouTube channel has really helped me though start to kind of be more open-minded to content creating, because I've always been in that, like for the longest I kind of had that energy where I was just like, oh man, we're DJ producers, we're not like content creators.
Yeah.
And even though I've always that muscle memory of creating content and filming, I just never really wanted to go that route. But now I feel like it's either that, bro, or we work our 9 to 5s. You know what I mean? So I'd much some income through other ways like YouTube
Yeah.
or like TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys gotten monetized already?
No, not yet. We're about to though. We have to hit 1,000 subs, and we're 900. We're at 985 right now. So we're like really.
Oh shit! Everybody who watching this, go sub right now.
Yeah, man. Sub to Maple Alley. But even
Maple Alley.
and even we've been making some money off our merch too, man. So like I feel any way you can help support artists, it's through merch. I feel merch is one of the biggest ways. Obviously you could buy music too, but I feel like with the streaming platforms, it hasn't really helped that case.
Yeah, let's just like Bandcamp or something. You're doing like a special release on there.
Yeah. Although I will say, man, I've checked our analytics on like the Spotify for Artists and Apple Store, and I'm so surprised like how many people like Shazammed our music and have actually purchased our songs.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool stat that you can see how many people Shazam your music.
Yeah, man, it's dope because like I'm one of those Shazammers too. Like I don't know if you have this, but I have Sirius XM in my car, and a lot of people don't like radio at all. But me, like
I don't have it anymore. I used to.
Oh, bro, I love it, man. Like that's how I find so much music. Like people, their DJ mixes playing, and you just Shazam the songs, and that's where I found a lot of like our notable songs for our sets. Because a lot of time I don't like to find just a song that's just a banger. Like those are my more like capturing a euphoric feel type of songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where actually I discovered Fred again.
Sorry?
That's actually where I discovered Fred again back in like 2020.
Oh shit! Yeah. I mean, I don't have it now because I actually sold my car last year, and I didn't know I was gonna move back to Canada, and now I moved back and I have to get a new car. So, but I have what's it called? I have BBC Radio, and I get a lot of songs from there too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't.
So the BBC Radio app is like they have a dance station that's 24/7, and there's like a different show every hour.
I love BBC. I remember like they would do all the Diplo and Friends remixes and mixes back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
and
I don't think that show's around anymore, right?
No,
that ended
so long ago. But I used to get hyped because it'd be like some of my favorite artists. They'd be like, "Oh, they have a Diplo and Friends mix. I'm about to listen to that."
Yeah, every time you hear that, Diplos and Friends.
Yeah,
yeah, on BBC Radio.
Yeah, that was always the goal back then.
Yeah, but they still have a lot of dope shows, and they have the essential mix.
Yeah.
So they'll bring like a guest DJ, and then usually for those essential mixes, like DJs will like give everything, like they'll make it polished.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that new Insomniac app they just started up with, like Insomniac Radio, and they have like over so many like different types of channels and broadcasts now.
Oh, there's an app for the radio now.
Yeah, they just announced it like yesterday, I believe.
that's fire.
Oh shit, I gotta download that.
Yeah. I think it's going to open a lot of doors for a lot of smaller artists, you know, get their music heard out there because they have a lot of new hosts. So
They got to fill radio time.
they have like actual artists hosting, and then they have like EDM influencers hosting some radio broadcasts.
Oh, word. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's a good way to find new music too that people like. Sometimes like, I think finding on new music on Spotify for some people that aren't like too savvy with where to look is hard for them, right?
Yeah.
They a lot of people find new music more on like TikTok, but if people can go back to listening to radio, like now that it's on your phone and it's an app, I feel like people will discover new music a lot quicker.
Yeah, man, for sure. And TikTok is actually one of the biggest resources right now, I believe.
Yeah, I find so much new stuff on there, bro.
I think that's where the songs go viral right now. It's just TikTok, you know. Like that one Notion remix.
Yeah, I love that song.
And then that one, the Stephanie remixes.
There's a meme where it's like, because obviously EDC's coming up, and they're like, how many times are we going to hear these two specific songs?
Bro, I heard like the echoes of the song, and it's just different remixes of it.
I mean, it's true. They're fire songs, but I mean, at the time, that's usually how like sometimes like artists are like, oh, my song was played this many times at EDC.
Yeah, like Laser Beam.
That's how it is every year, man. It's always 1-2 songs that you hear at almost every set.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember our first EDC, it was like Lean On.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that was 2015 then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a time, man. That was a time.
2013 was Animals.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that's
I was like, damn, what is this? And then
hey, so you'd always have to fly over here for the festivals, or?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Oh,
everybody eats.
EDC. What's the big Canadian one? The Ilsonic and Shambhala, right?
Yeah, we got a few. Like we have Ilsonic, we have Veld in Toronto, and then Shambhala is a big like forest one. It's kind of like really organic electric forest vibes, but even more organic than that. It's all like independently owned, and they own the land and everything.
Oh,
so
okay, that's cool.
That's for sure one of the like West Coast Canadian favorites, and people like it sells out every year.
Yeah,
and even DJs that want to get on it, it's like it's like a prestige to get on that lineup.
Yeah, like I remember, like I would see like pictures of that stage that looks like a house, like an actual breeze, and I'm like, man, that just looks so cool. I think because like they don't have like LED screens, they just have like the lights set up in a way where like it's like going off the like the walls. I'm like, that's so freaking cool.
Yeah, no, the stages are crazy, and the sound there. Everyone always says like all the ravers I know in Canada, like they go to all the festivals. Like Shambhala has the craziest sound system.
So out of all the cities in Canada, which ones would you say like is like the EDM hot hub?
All the cities, I would say Toronto for sure. Toronto is just like the music hub because it's so big.
Right.
It's always been known for music, and when you have like the population that big, that you're just gonna have bigger everything, right?
Right.
The West Coast, like Vancouver, has a good scene too, but for sure it's not the same size as Toronto.
Yeah.
Like when Fred again did a tour here, he only did a Toronto date. I think that's like the only city that was worth him doing, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Japan or Australia.
Yeah.
Me too, bro. That's on my list, man, for like this year. I want to try to go to Japan first, and then I haven't been to Australia yet. I really want to go there. They have such a really like solid, like hard dance scene.
Yeah, bro. And just the people's energy in general. Like I always hear nothing but good things over there. So I can only imagine how hyped the crowds are.
Yeah, Australians are fun. They're cool people. But they're always a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so for me personally, when we played in Arizona, like every time I feel like it's always just a reminder of like that's the best crowd, at least that we've performed for.
They have the best energy.
Where's this? Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona.
Oh shit. Well, why would you say they're the best crowd? Just like they're more hype?
Yeah, bro. And our first show over there was when we were more in like the trap dubstep era, like hybrid trap stuff. And even then they were like, so they're right off the bat, they were hype. They're like it was surprising because we were just direct support. And then when we played Gold Rush, same thing. They were hype and they were expecting a whole nother artist because they were late for their set, or they didn't show up for their set.
Yeah.
And then when we played with a show with 4B, that crowd was just like berserk, bro. Like they were just going crazy the whole set. So it just showed like no matter what the genre, no matter what the circumstance, like whether it was a festival or a club, like they're just hype every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. We have some cities like that in Canada, but mostly the smaller cities because there's less like things to do. So when there is a show, they go all out.
Yeah.
Like my hometown's like that. My hometown's like that. Like whenever there's a show, compared to like some other cities I've been to, like people go ham like all night. You know, like if someone like Knock 2 came here, like every drop, all the kids would be like going ham. You know, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is how it is. Like when you're a smaller city.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could say we relate to that, but we do have all the big festivals. So
Yeah.
I feel that's the only thing though. Is we have the festivals, but we had nothing in between. So it's like I said before, it's pretty cool to see like now we're finally catching that stride,
Yeah, like when we wouldn't have that and we'd have the itch of like, oh, we have to drive it to LA or
which is always annoying because of the traffic.
or Orange County, just go to a club event. And then we still have to drive back.
Mhm.
Damn. So did you guys always live outside of LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life, literally in
Same.
this house, or at least this property, since 2001, and then before that, I lived like in the same city.
Same.
Crazy. How did you guys meet? You guys meet in high school?
Yeah, he was a senior, I was a junior.
Word.
Pretty much
You're like,
those
yo,
friends
like
we
me.
mentioned earlier, like he was in their grade and I was the year after them.
Yeah, they kind of just took.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, like because they had grown up, they were like childhood friends, and then we all had like the same like TV production class, and our mutual friends, like I was getting cool with them, and they kind of just took me into the group, and then everything just clicked. Like we all like we were all like this, like immediately, like we'd always hang out after like.
Pretty much we bonded over our sense of humor, but then
Yeah.
we were the only ones like truly into EDM.
Which is crazy because like I in the beginning I was more closer to them because I knew him better. But obviously, there's, I was still considering him my friend. And then he had just graduated high school, and then he was like, "Hey, I'm like I remember to the day he's like, hey, I'm gonna go to EDC. Do you want to come with me?" And I'm like, I've never been, and I'm like, I'm down. And I obviously I've always been wanting to go since I was like I was a freshman in high school. So I took the opportunity, and that first EDC trip is basically when me and him were like this after that. We started going to all the festivals together, and we were outside of a burger spot. A couple farm boys out here and figuring out like, hey, let's be DJs.
Yeah, we pretty much decided that like at that time after EDC to join forces. Like I was already DJing, but
Yeah.
now I was trying to hop into the production game, and pretty much from there is where we started off.
Yeah, that's the magic of EDC, bro.
Yeah, literally the magic of
It really was. It was honest. It was life changing because I was going to school to be a film editor at the time, and I went into that. And then after that, I lost all interest in like editing and film. Like now, obviously with like our YouTube channel,
Yo, I was thinking,
right?
bro.
It's so crazy how many stories I hear of people like they're going into film schools and then they get into music after that. I think Jaws was the same. There's a couple other people too that they just travel into music. And so now, like, he's the editor, and like they'll try to make me edit, but I'm like, bro, I haven't edited in like almost a decade. So I have a shitty laptop. So obviously, when I upgrade to a new one, I obviously want to like help out more with them.
It's like riding a bike though, honestly, because through the editing softwares and stuff like Ableton, even Serato or Recordbox, like waveforms are like the main thing. So it's almost they go hand in hand a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I was literally doing the same thing before I started produce because I had like a photography, videography business.
Yeah.
And I was just doing like club events, even weddings, real estate stuff. So I knew how to like film, edit, and do all that. And then I just got to a point where I was like, damn, what am I doing, man? I've fucking been DJing for so long. Like, I love music. I need to start producing.
Mhm.
And that was like, I had that business 2016. Then I shut that down and then I started producing in 2017.
Do you do any of your content by chance?
I do all of it. Everything.
That's the thing, man. I can't stress that enough. To be able to learn different softwares to help your own project, like it's so resourceful because I can't tell you how many times we relied on other people and it's just like, dude, they take forever. And so like just free Photoshop or some type of editing, whether it's Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve, like it's very
Well, even CapCut now. CapCut is like, so easy to use.
yeah, definitely for any like entry level, like starting off with CapCut is like the way to go. But I would recommend for anyone to graduate to a more professional one,
Premiere Pro, if they stop crashing.
yeah. We use DaVinci Resolve pretty much because it's free now, or it's been free.
Is it more stable than in Premiere?
I think so. I've always been like I feel DaVinci Resolve is more user friendly and it's never crashed out on me. Whereas Adobe Premiere would.
Damn. Okay, I gotta try DaVinci. The only thing is I didn't give it a go because it looks like a completely new interface to me.
Oh, it's easier,
So
bro.
I just kind of do CapCut and Premiere.
That's how I felt when I first got on to started learning how to produce on Ableton. Because like I dabbled with producing back in high school, but I was just downloading some like torrent from Fruity Loops off like like Pirates, whatever the fuck.
We'll
that
be
shit
in
is
our
called.
class. At least I would on FL on the
Yeah.
computers back there, and it's just some shitty.
And I'm obviously like I had the itch since then, but I just put it away. And so when it was time to learn Ableton, like an old friend of ours gave me one of his copies that he torrented. It was like Ableton 9. And he downloaded it on my computer, and it looked like just like alien software to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This shit looks so complicated. And then within that summer of him like showing me how to like produce, I'm like, bro, this shit is so easy. Like, in my opinion, like you produce off Ableton too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So like in my opinion, like it's all the same. It's just about how the interface and workflow. But I want to say Ableton's like the best one. It's like the fastest one. It has a shortcut.
Ableton's like, oh,
Yeah. And then when I see other people working off Fruity Loops or even like Cubase, I'm like, how the fuck are y'all doing this? This shit looks complicated.
I'm a big interface guy. So you know how Rekordbox is the universal program people use? Like I hate Rekordbox. Like I'm more of a Serato guy. And then
oh shit.
and same thing with like FL. When I would mess around with FL, like I felt like it was just so like there was so much of a delay like on it for just, I don't know, maybe there's just me, but
yeah, like early versions of FL were kind of janky. I started with FL. Like I was on FL for like 2-3 months, and then I switched to Ableton.
Mhm.
What I will give to FL though is that it looks like a video game, so it does make, and they have a crazy like easy to use drum sequencer.
yeah.
So you make a drum, getting started, that's really easy, because like you're a beginner, like, oh yeah, like, kick here, and then like put a preset pattern, and then put up whatever else after, right? But Ableton for sure is intimidating for someone new. It looks like
At first, but then
like,
as soon as you even just figure out just to start throwing stuff on channels, I'm like, oh, okay, this shit's easy.
yeah, there you go. And then it's kind of like you just learn like intuitively, right?
Yeah.
And like now there's tutorials everywhere, like good tutorials too. Like when we started, there's tutorials, but like they're not
fucking
as
suck, man.
as stuff.
Because like I was saying, like obviously we were learning off our friend, and he basically was just showing me like, oh, you cut off the lows because here you don't want this, but I wanted to know like why are you like even just more in depth, and like the stuff I would try to look on YouTube, it was either so boring that I can never sit through the videos, or it was never anything where I was like looking for it. So I just said fuck YouTube, and I never ended up looking up. Then when I would need look up, if anything, I just would look up like, oh, how to make this Skrillex sound.
Yeah, being an editor, I really appreciate those tutorials that just go straight to the point. And they sometimes over explaining is bad, but I feel like some people do a really good job at like explaining stuff that you would assume whoever you're teaching would ask that question,
Yeah, some people are just really good teachers, and some people are just really good producers, but some people are good producers and they have their own process of doing stuff, but they can't really explain it back clearly enough where someone can understand it, right?
Yeah, I have such a hard time doing that because we have a bunch of friends that are also DJs, or they're getting into DJing, but they also want to produce. And I'm always going to be a helping hand to our friends. Like, I'm never going to like gatekeep like my knowledge, because they can know what's the point in that. I want all my friends to pursue their dreams if they want to, if they're serious about it. And so like when I'll try to show them how, it's easy for me to say, like, do it like this, but then I'm like, fuck, I need to explain this better, because how it was explained to me, I know for a fact they're not going to get it. So it's a touch and go process of that.
Yeah. Talking about production advice, what's some bad advice you find on YouTube?
Oh, God.
That we find on YouTube? Let's see.
I don't know, because like I don't venture off to.
I don't think we could put in enough time in learning, honestly.
Yeah, because I think that's a bad habit,
Yeah.
But it's like I always sound like, fuck, bro, I don't think my production's there. And obviously it's all out there, and I just like, nah, I'll just continue producing. But
Bro,
but
because I do a lot of mix and master jobs.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I can't stand, and I wish people would just not listen to this, is that they cut everything below like 100, 200.
yes, I just recently started not doing that, because I was doing that very early on, because my friend was
Yeah, me too.
he was just saying, like, they just say like, if it's not a kick or sub, just cut it out, everything. And then that dude Viper Active, he was on that Excellent Show podcast, and he had put it out too. Like sometimes like the reason your song just sounds so cut and dry is because you're like cutting out a lot of meat. And yeah, like for sure you do generally want to have your sub and lows in that frequencies, but there's still cool, interesting like sub like mid frequencies that you're straight out cutting out that could give your song even more fuller. And then because you're cutting out stuff, you're adding unnecessary like other stuff to fill in, and then it just sounds all weird.
Where you, yeah, exactly. Like it makes it sound like kind of cold. Like, I get some songs and people ask me like, "Oh, how do your songs sound so warm?" And I'm like, "Send me your project file." And I'm like, "Well, why did you cut this?" And I'm like, "Oh, because like it's not the sub." I'm like, "Well, you don't have to cut it. If it's not a sub. Like you have like information down there.
Yeah.
That's still sitting there, and then you have like these things stacked up. You add this kind of like warmth to your track when you're not surgically cutting it, right? Like if you're gonna cut, like now I tell everybody like, use a shelf if you're gonna bring it down because like on Ableton, my old mentor was explaining this to me, like bass clef. He said in Ableton, whatever it's
Hold on,
showing
your
you on
mentor
that
is bass clef?
yeah,
Bro,
he was my
I've
old
been,
mentor.
I've
Like
been using his easy washout since like 2017, bro, and I still use it to this day.
yeah,
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
yeah, he's the gold man, and he has a bunch of other racks too. I'll send him to you.
Oh, man.
They're easy washout,
Yeah.
easy everything. But yeah, he told me like on that little EQ8, that information you see, it's not even if it's showing it like half of that or a little bit,
Mhm.
and it's not audible, but you're not really. It's not gonna interfere with like your sub, It's just like a little bit of texture or something that's still sitting there, and that whatever like that meter is not accurate, like 0 to I forget what the bottom number is, but that's not what the actual dB is.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to have this ugly habit. I feel like, and I saw like there was a meme on this too. It was like on some like mixing Instagram like channel where like producers will go through the stage of like EQing their things. Like first is the cutting the shelf of everything, and then it's the part where they start getting surgical and start going up and down just to cut out very specific frequencies. And then it gets to the point where they just start to shelf everything because they're too lazy to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we got so many tools now that you guys have Sooth.
I had it because I think it was on the Splice rent to own, and then I pay it, so I never ended up downloading it again. And I tried downloading it on Black Friday because they have all the deals, but I had missed it, and it was just too expensive for me to download. And I was like, I'll wait till next year to re-download it again.
Yeah, it is a little costly, but because I do like mixing stuff, it's so good, bro.
Yeah.
For like all the little notches, now you don't have to go into like Pro Q and like notch every little thing. You just slap this on and then adjust how much it's doing it. I'm like, done.
I miss Pro Q so much. So I have like this Apple MacBook basic model that when I first started to like, all right, let's get the music going, I grabbed that. I immediately went to Best Buy and bought that, but I cheaped out. I learned that lesson the hard way. If you're gonna buy like equipment, like don't cheap out just because you just don't have the money. You're gonna need the extra RAM and CPU and
You need the power.
yeah, that shit would like
Well, that's also the con of MacBooks is like you're capped out,
yeah. And so
That's what's happening to me right now.
Yeah, but I love the Apple interface. That's the thing with me.
that's the best.
Yeah.
So when he gave me that tour and he gave me a bunch of plugins too, and one of them was the Pro, all the Pro, like the Pro Q, Pro L, like the sound, like some of them I didn't even know how to use them. I just had them, and so my laptop was just so slow to the point where I ended up having to factory restore it and basically update it to like a more recent OS as far as it could go. I think it's like a Catalina. I forget which OS. And so I lost all the other ones because I couldn't really put in like those VSTs. So then I saw how much actually Pro Q was, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't afford that right now. It's so expensive."
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most producers don't have Pro Q like official license.
Yeah. Man, there's this. Do you remember back in the day? I think Stevie Aoki got called out because like he had some VST. I think it might have been for Silent, and someone noticed that it was like a torrented VST. It wasn't actually bought.
Yeah.
And so I gave him the benefit of that. He had put out the statement saying like it was just one of his tour managers, like he was going through a new laptop, so he just downloaded all the programs and he didn't actually see like,
bro. Fucking Kanye, like a while back when Serum first came out, he had like a cracked Serum.
That's hilarious,
bro. A lot of
what I mean?
I've noticed. I don't want to put out the DJ's name, but I seen his Instagram story once. He was showing his playlist for his set coming up. And a little www.free mp3 on one of the song titles. I'm like, everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you buy, I buy tracks too, but like
I get the free
I can't find it, But yeah, my free MP3 is kind of shitty quality though.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I learned that like back in 2018.
Yeah, I get the like playing at local gigs and I'm like, why is this song like someone else is playing? I'm like, why does this song sound like so ass? Then I look and it's like a YouTube rip. I'm like,
or bro, like yo, you can't be doing that in the club.
Bro, I have like I have downloads from 2011 and they're like 64 bit rates. And I'm just like, what's up?
64-bit.
I'm like, how did I think this was okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing that when I started, like, the owner of the club, like, he's my friend. He's like, you're gonna play here. You can't play anything that's not funny.
Yeah, I've heard
or
that a
wave.
lot.
He's like, if you do that, like, you'll get booted. You know, we can't have that
Oh.
because like you hear a huge difference on a good system. You hear like a big difference.
You know what's crazy though is like the couple of times we had problems with our USBs, it was with waveforms. It wasn't even MP3s. It would be like waveforms, like corrupted files.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's a scary thing. So for you DJs, make sure you have like 3 USBs on deck at all times.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Sometimes I export. If I export in Ableton, and I export in like a high bit rate, like 32-bit,
Yeah,
and sometimes depends on the CDJ if it's updated or not. It won't. It'll give an error code, and I was like, but when I do 16, it never happens. It's always when I do 24, 32 to test out a new song, and I'm like, fuck, I just exported this. Like, what's going on? And then I was like, oh, because I exported in 24 or 32.
yeah, and a lot of people will say that, man. Go to like to do 16, like it's good enough. But for me, I'm just like, no, it's never good enough. You know, like even with editing, like they'll say like, oh, like it's pointless rendering or exporting in 4K because it all gets compressed anyway. But I'm just like, nah, man. I promise you, there's a difference. I can see it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my head about that. But I always hear that.
It's gotta be 4K and FLAC,
Yeah,
lossless audio, everything, bro.
yeah.
Quality first, right?
Mm.
Damn, you guys been in the industry the same time as me, pretty much. Then
I would think so.
yeah.
I guess so. I mean, I know I'd heard about you way like a long time ago. I think with like a Tommy Sunshine collab or something like that.
yeah, and you guys were like, man, I found your music on Braun. You guys got on Braun like 2019.
Yeah, shout out Braun, man. I
Like-
feel like they really put us into a lot of people's eyes, especially at that time. Like they were kind
Yeah.
of I would say they were peaking back then, maybe during that time. It
That's when they had the strongest like worldwide fan base because
like they had like WeWack,
Yeah.
Mike Cervello, like
They had like
Yeah.
all star like because like back then like it was
more niche. It was like more like
exclusive. Like I remember like
yeah,
when we were like we were in the thick of it and they were like putting out like they're putting out their EPs. Like me and him like, dude, you check out the new Braun EP. Like, and it was either some WeWack or a new Sesco or a new Moxie, and then there'd be like sometimes they'd be like sprinkling some newer artists. And like, yo, you hear this guy yet? And then that was always the goal of ours. Like back in the day, like, nah, we got to put something on Braun family. And
yeah. I just
that's
really
like-
love how diverse they were in genres and like pretty much the whole like death to genres thing. You know, I've always believed in that too. You know, we grab inspiration from all genres, even in our sets. Like you'll hear.
Yeah. You guys had this EP. Which one is the one that Nuke is on?
Vendetta. The Vendetta.
Yeah. I rinsed the fuck out of that song, bro.
Nuke.
It's it's a funny story about that. So when we were first putting getting our EP on Braun, we had we we didn't know like we had sent them exactly 4 songs like because we were thinking like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this is the EP. And then like it's a general rule, so I don't know if it's like known or not, but like when you're sending stuff either for EP or for just a song to like labels and stuff, you generally want to send them like a good handful of songs just to make sure like they have a choice of like the songs. When you just give them that, then they're just gonna take what they want, and obviously it's not gonna be enough. And back then they were doing the 4-track format, and so they only like two of the tracks, and the other 2 they didn't want. And so when they did agree, like, hey, we really want to sign these, but we need another 2. Nuke was one of the other songs. We're like, oh fuck! So we literally just wrote it like
Nuke and Whammy.
Whammy
Came like that though.
Yeah, we wrote them like super quick. Cause like fuck, we gotta give this something to them quick. And then they ended up being some of our more favorite songs. Just because I don't know if it's maybe because how less we spent time actually working on it.
And actually thought.
True, bro.
Yeah,
Because sometimes you get into your own head when you're like creating something and like you're too in your head about like thinking, but really if you just do like, you know, that's the beauty about a duo too, is like we get to tell each other, you know.
yeah. There are times I go in
Yeah,
a cycle and he'll be like, hey, maybe we should work on something else. I'm like, yeah, you probably.
People always say that like the stuff you don't overthink and you finish quick is like usually like your favorites or it's the songs that do really well, right?
Yeah.
I always tell people that like my song that has like the most streams, I did that in like a day.
Yeah.
Finished like start to finish in a day, like mix master, and I was like, damn, there's like I think 11 million streams now.
Yeah, I think it's because you get to still enjoy the song as a song. Like you don't get burnt out of just the whole process of making it. And so like you still get hyped, like, oh damn, I have to play this new song. I'm so hyped to play it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Nothing is better than when like you create something and it's something that you really fuck with. Like I'll be in the studio and I'll just be like literally like dancing, like you know what I mean? So like,
You know,
yeah, that's when you know, bro.
like I just watched like a James Hype video that he's talking about his release, Don't Wake Me Up. And he's like, man, I didn't overthink this lead. And he's like, guess what the lead is? It's a fucking Serum in it preset.
Just the init preset.
Yeah, with some reverb, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I fucking love Sarah.
Yeah.
Have you seen me? Have you been seeing that James Hype and like Deadmau5 beef on Instagram?
They're beefing?
Yeah, bro.
It's kind of like
it's
passive aggressive,
but it's super funny.
I seen the Ultra thing, but I didn't see like a beef. Like, what was this about?
So you know, I don't know if you saw James Hype is doing like his new kind of show where he's like, it's called Sync, where he's involved
Yo, yeah.
the CDJs into like the visual effects. And so I think Deadmau5 may have called him out and saying like, oh, anybody can do it, or like it's like easy to do that. And so then he had put out another video, James Hype, with like just kind of trolling Deadmau5. And so the Deadmau5 clapped back and he started doing like and you know that video game Elden Ring. Yeah, he started playing that on a CDJ. I'm like, you see, it's easy. You can do it with anything. I'm like, that's so funny.
Oh, damn! I gotta check this out. I didn't even notice that.
It's like a petty beef. It's not even like a beef. It's just more like little clapbacks. Because even in the, I think Deadmau5 is like, it's not that serious.
Pretty much, Deadmau5 is like downplaying the whole concept.
Yeah,
which is actually is a really cool concept. I don't think anyone's ever done it. So I do give James hype for even thinking about doing it in that way. Because I'm sure now, after that, there's gonna be probably other DJs that are gonna start trying to do that too.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you always gotta push the boundaries, especially someone like him.
Yeah,
who's been touring a lot, and he's like, you know, he's like climbing up, like he's like skyrocketing. You know,
Yeah.
so he has to like elevate his show, and it's good for him to do that because are you just gonna DJ forever and do the same thing? You know, like you want to give the audience a different experience. That's what like Anima is like, right? Like people go there for not just the music. I'm pretty sure people wouldn't even go there just for like, if it was just music, people probably wouldn't just go, you know?
Yeah.
Like they go for the whole experience, right?
Yeah.
And someone like him who's already so good at DJing and he's already proved himself to be a good, like, you know, technical DJ, he's like, hey, I need to like step it up and do something else, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why it's the same thing going back to the attending, you know, shows, festivals. It always inspires you to want to do something. So like for my first festival, EDC 2015, I guess I was blueballed a little bit where we saw Cruella. They had like a whole band come out, like a rock band, and perform drums.
Oh shit.
And then we saw DJ Snake, like he was just giving out cutout boards of his face and his logo. And then, you know, the 7-Up bands that lit up. You had like a whole bunch of DJs just throwing out merch.
7-Up stage. Remember that?
And then you had like Data Life throwing out inflatable bananas and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I've always been like, whoa, man, like this is crazy. I want to do this too. Like, so give the fans some type of return, you know, something that stands out. And so,
yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to lie, that was kind of like a one and done, but you'll see it every now and then. Some DJs, you know, give out free merch or some some type of promotional stuff. But I feel like that needs to make a comeback, you know, where a lot of people use that.
Yeah, because you need to connect with your fans more, you know, instead of just like the old show up, DJ, take pics.
Yeah, because everyone can drop
you know?
bangers, you know.
Yeah. So you have to have like that something that your fans feel connected to you through.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll throw them like pizza or something.
I'm gonna throw a bean and cheese burrito in the crowd. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go, bro. Throw some tacos. What was that taco spot we went to in LA? That was
I don't know what it was called, dude. I think was it you or Jay that showed us?
It was Jay. It wasn't me. I don't know any spots like that, but fucking
I remember.
I need that right now.
See, if you ever come to SoCal Rays, let me know and we'll show you around here. There's a lot of spots out here.
Yeah,
for sure, man. I love Mexican food. It's in my top 3 for sure.
Yeah. And me, I'm like my favorite Asian food.
Oh,
same.
I love Asian and Italian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for me, top for sure is like gonna be Vietnamese, Thai food, and then I think third is Mexican for sure.
Mexican. Yeah, I feel you know, those spices in Mexican food is what makes it stand out.
Yeah, and it's not just like people don't know that there's more to like Mexican food than just tacos and burritos. You guys
Yeah.
have a lot of other stuff. I don't know the names of them, but I've been to like house parties and I've seen them. I'm like, there's like some shrimp thing, and then like there's so much like different variety that's not just tacos, right?
Yeah, we got like aguachile, ceviche. We got what's it called? Menudo, pozole, tamales. You know,
Albóndigas.
pretty much if you have a hangover, go order some menudo. That's what everyone's hangover cure is.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
It's like it's like a red base kind of like stew or something.
It's like some like
Oh
like some-
yeah,
but the meat is like some chewy.
It's like tripe,
Yep.
but it has like hominy in it, and it's super flavorful. Like, yeah, people get a lot of people get weirded out just by the look of the tripe, but it's the texture itself is so fire. Like, I used to hate it as a kid, but now as an adult, like I'll eat it even if I'm not hungover. It's just so good.
yeah, I crushed that right now.
Oh, I don't know if you had it, but the chicharrones. I gotta show you some of those if you haven't had it.
Coronas, yeah,
Yeah, see,
I teach Corona.
there's this market down the street called Northgate Market. They have like the best.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
When you go to tour, what's on your rider?
Well, we always change it. Because like some days I'm like I don't want alcohol, and then some days I do. Some days we're like
Yeah,
trying to eat healthier, and then other days we're not. So we always change it.
Yeah.
Our beers always
flavor of the-
changing, but we for sure always have tequila. But we tried this for which event was it?
Inland Groove.
No. Inland Groove actually gave it to us, but I think it was the Insomniac where we recommended for Countdown. We asked for
It was for Countdown.
we asked for this tequila called Gran Malo. It's made out in Mexico and it's a tamarindo flavor.
Super delicious.
Yeah, so
Dang.
right now we're asking for Gran Malo, and then we'll go from like Michelob Ultras or the Modelo Michelada variety pack.
Yeah. And obviously they'll more often than not, clubs will just give you what they have on hand. But sometimes you can't hurt to ask if you
Yeah, whenever it comes to snacks, we'll just ask for like a variety pack of chips or a fruit tray.
Yeah, that's standard, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
standard, exactly.
What about you? What
Always
do you
gotta put
have?
like mine's healthy, man, because I stopped drinking, so I only have the alcohol in there. Like I'll always just keep it like tequila, 1 ball tequila and 6 beers. Like it's 1 ball tequila. Like I put like Casamigos or equivalent, and then 6 Heineken, 6 sparkling water, bananas, assorted snacks, and a fruit tray.
Hmm.
So like super healthy. But
he
I keep the alcohol on there anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because actually Michael hasn't he basically has cut off alcohol for the
Yeah, since the new year, I've had like 3 drinks since the new year, and so for our last couple shows, I would still get the alcohol, but I would never be the one to drink it. It would be like our guest list or him, and so yeah, it's been a new experience. It's one thing I have noticed is pre-show, I close up and I'm not really like engaging with everyone. Like everyone else is having a good time because whenever we have a show, like our whole friend list comes out, which is like up to 20 people, and so
Yeah.
everyone's like at the house or like at the venue, just like having a good time, and me, I'm just closed in. I'm just like have my USB in my hand, just ready to go on and like just waiting.
Yeah.
And so
This is now when you're sober.
yeah, it's like now that I'm sober, that's how it is before the show. Like I'm kind of just like that now.
Damn.
But when I'm
This is good though. I feel like it's trending.
yeah, and so yeah, of course, it's always good to drop some bad habits. At least like handle alcohol in moderation, which is why like that's kind of my goal. Is like I wanted to give myself a 6-month goal and just see how it is from there. If I have to have a drink now, like if I were to just have like one sip or like one drink, like I feel like I'm already like cool after that. But before, like I'm the type where I'm not really like trying to just be a social drinker. I just want to like drink to feel some type of way. So
You want to drink to turn up.
yeah, exactly. And I felt like it was I don't know. I just felt like way more jiggly on my body, and I hate that feeling.
Oh, I know how it feels, bro. I was like that too. I would like go from 0 to 100.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so before show, I would kind of be more to myself, but then on stage, man, there's just like a switch that flips, and I'm just like more into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Like I felt like I was DJing better when I was sober, and I was more on top of things. Because when I was drinking, and I would end up getting lit, I would forget things I would need for like my media. Like I'll be DJing and then I'll be like looking around for my media guide. I'm like, fuck, I should. But when I'm sober, like I'm on top of that stuff before, like I'll give them a warning, like, 2 songs coming up. I need a video for this.
Yeah.
So I'm way more on top of things when I'm sober.
Yeah.
I actually have slowed down drinking. Like I still have a couple before we go on, but I have like there have been a couple times where I've actually gotten a little too sauced up, and I've like messed up a couple of times. Like we're still able to save like either a transition or something, but like there are clear errors on my part. I'm like, all right, I gotta chill out on this, and so far it's worked out better.
Hey, you live and learn, man.
Yeah,
It's like a little offbeat for like 8 bars maybe, and then you
Yeah.
catch it.
Yeah.
Um,
So for the amount of time you guys have been in the industry, what would you say is like the best advice you got and then the worst advice you got? Because I know there is bad advice out there too.
man, it's tricky, man. I like because
we've gotten a lot of advice throughout the years.
sometimes I'm in my head about the worst advice thing, and it comes from like a good place, but I feel like starting up, we always when we started with Logic, we always had mentors, and one of the things that I kind of not regret, but I wish I could have done differently is we were always told to kind of act more professional in a sense where you're not starting off small, you're starting off with a statement, and you're trying to almost, I feel like it's almost like I'm acting like someone I'm not yet, and I didn't really like build up to that character. Like some people, they start off with like shitty ass productions, or they play like little small tiny shows, and we did have those shows, but it was like before we took production serious. I felt like we tried to be someone that we weren't too early in our career, and it almost like killed that whole phase of engaging with other smaller acts and building a community. And so I felt like by acting a certain level, not like we were like cocky assholes or anything, but we're just like we were skipping out all the growing steps.
Yeah.
And I felt like it kind of hurt us in some ways, but it definitely built a lot of maturity sooner than later, which could work out either way.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you on that. Especially now, I feel like in this day and age, it's all about building community.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
It's probably different before, like maybe like when we first started and the years before that, like everybody wanted to act like a headliner,
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's more about community and building something that you grow with.
Yeah, and being more humble and vulnerable nowadays. Whereas before, if you showed any of that, it's just like a no go. Like now that everyone has like a certain perception of you, and I just wish I just dropped that ego a little bit and just like was just growing through all the growing pains, whatever, learning as I went. And like I said, it all came from a good place, but I definitely feel like we had gaps in between different spots of our career where I just wish it could have been filled with more of like the dirty work or like working our way up type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. But you live and learn, You kind of see those things looking back after. You're like, oh shit, I should have did it this way. But you just learn and then you take those lessons to keep building, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That leads into my next question is usually I end off on this is what advice would you give your younger self? Which maybe you kind of answered that already, but maybe if you have a different answer to like your younger self, what would you say?
Save your money, because I was making a lot of money as a kid from DJing in high school, and I just blew it all on the dumbest things. And so save your money and just always keep learning, learn young.
All right.
I guess mine would probably be like stop. Just finish things out. Like they're like when I could say I was a big quitter as a kid. Like I would try things, I wouldn't like it, and I would quit immediately. And there are tons of experiences I probably could have had even more if I had just stuck things out. Like like the DJing and like producing things. Like that was kind of like my last, not my last straw, but there was a point in my life where like so obviously I quit the film school to do this, and it was another thing I'm quitting. And in my mind, I mentally put like, this is the last thing. I'm not gonna like quit on that anymore, because it's just I'm robbing myself of like experiences and just maturing as a person. There's so many things you can do if you just finish things out, and so going into like Wolf Logic, I was like, I'm not gonna quit on this. Like, I quit on too many things in my life that this is the one thing where I'm like, I'm just gonna thug it out until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, and luckily we
Hug
have
it
each
out.
other. We have each other too.
Yeah, if I'll be honest, if I didn't have Michael, I probably would have, just because he's been a huge support system. I don't deal with my emotions well. I don't communicate well. It's just a lot of my upbringings, and
Yeah.
he's helped me through that, and he's helped me open up more and speak out on stuff. And there are times where, like, there are times where you know, I had a real low life back in 2020. Like, I was like, there's a number of circumstances that happened in my personal life to where I felt lost. And at the time, we had like a super heavy work schedule with the Wolf Logic stuff. We were doing it like 5 days a week, nonstop for like almost like 3 or 4 years at the time. And I needed a break, but I didn't know how to say it. And with all of my personal experience, I literally broke down. Like, he literally like saw me like bawling my eyes out, and you know, he told me, and then at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you know, at the end of the day, this Wolf Logic shit is secondary. You're my friend first, and I don't want to lose you as a friend. And that really meant a lot. And it took a couple months after that, but then we had a show after that, and I had so much fun on stage with him. It kind of clicked in my head, like, this is why I'm doing it. Like, I have so much fun up here, and I've seen so many people like dance and have fun to our own songs. It really just realigned things where I was at. And so ever since then, I've been like pretty good on like just the Wolf Logic stuff.
Damn, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't quit, but maybe you quit those things so you could focus on this. So it led you here, you know?
Yeah. And
Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad you guys are still at it.
yeah, that's the thing, man. Trust me, I'm sure internally we wanted to quit so many times, but I always just tell myself, you know, I gave up college. I gave up, you know, I sacrificed so many times, you know, hanging out with family back in the day, like all for what? So we can't quit. You know, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I've been pushing off school for. Sorry, mom. This is what I've been pushing off, you know, everything, you know. I have a family of my own. I got my girl, my kid. And so like, it's just, I have all the motivation in the world to just keep going.
Yeah. And then we're blessed enough that we actually do have a lot of family and friends that see they're supporting us all the way. Like they know what the deal is like now, and like they know like, hey, this is a dream, and they're like, they just know what it is. Like they give us our like 100% support on everything. And like,
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you guys are killing it. People love your music. I love your music, so I don't ever want to see you guys quit. Tell people where they can find you, where they can find your music, where you can find your socials.
You can find us on Wolf Logic, pretty much on everything. You can follow
I would say our hub is our Instagram bio. So check us out on Wolf Logic, pretty much everywhere. Luckily, we chose the name specifically where there was no previous other like Wolf Logics. There's nothing else Wolf Logic. So we specifically picked something that didn't make sense. And we got lucky and got all our what are they called?
handles.
Yeah. All our handles across all platforms, Wolf Logic.
Yeah. And then
smart.
You can follow our YouTube on Maple Alley. And then we also have a podcast called Wolf's Web. That's also on Instagram and on YouTube. You can check that out.
Yes, sir.
Or any free streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like all the other ones. We're pretty consistent on that. Sometimes we'll drop an episode here or there, but for the most part, you do get weekly episodes from us.
We're going to come do a guest on yours.
Yeah, we're almost at 100.
Yep.
Let's go. Damn. Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. Wolf Logic.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys coming on.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thank you, man.
Yo, pleasure. This was In My House with Wolf Logic.
Peace.